In probability distribution, the first term that we come across is the random variable. We can define random variable as a real valued function which assigns a real number to each sample point in the sample space. For example, in a tossing of coin, we get two outputs, so here two random variable can be considered. Similarly, for tossing two coins, there will be four outputs. In mathematical terms, if we take S to be a sample space, then a real valued function x on S is called a random or a stochastic variable. Thus, for every single point on S of the sample space, we have a unique value of x. This is known as a random variable. Now, the range of the function of x, that is the set of all values that can be contained by x, is called the spectrum of the random variable. Suppose if we take the weight of the students in a class and it ranges from 20 to 60 kg, then 20 to 60 will be the spectrum of that random variable. Now we can understand the concept of random variable using an example. We have already told about the tossing of two coins. So there will be four sample space, that is head head, head tail, tail head and tail tail. We can consider now the random variable x such that the x of an outcome equal to number of heads. Then we can define x as a function of s as x of head head equal to 2. Here we can see there are number of heads are 2, therefore x of head head equal to 2. Similarly, if we take x of head tail or x of tail head, in both these cases the number of heads is 1, so x of head tail or x of tail head equal to 1. And in the last sample space, that is both are tail, x of tail tail, that will come 0 because there are no tail in this sample. Now random variables are of basically two types, that is discrete random variable and continuous random variable. First we'll see. Now the term probability mass function is closely associated with discrete random variable. Let x be a discrete random variable which assumes the value x0, x1, x2 up to xn. Now if we take let p equal to x of xi equal to f of xi, this function, this depends on the value of xi, each fi depends on the value of xi. This function is known as probability mass function. It is also written as PMF of that random variable x. A particular value of fi is called the probability mass and the cumulative total is known as PMF. There are two properties of this PMF. The first property is that p of I should be greater than 0. That is, the p of p for each value of x should be greater than or equal to 0. And the second condition is that the summation of pi should be 1. That is, p of x1 plus p of x2 plus p of x3, like this. The summation should be, the total sum should be 1. Here again, if we consider the tossing of two coins example, as we have already seen, the number of heads can be 0 or 1 or 2. Therefore, x here varies from 0, 1, 2. So the respective values of p of xi will get p of x equal to 0 equal to 1 by 4, p of x equal to 1 equal to half, and p of x equal to 2 equal to 1 by 4. Because there are two conditions where there was one head in head tail and tail head condition, so the probability of x equal to 1 comes out to be half and the other two comes out to be 1 by 4. So here if we see the PMF of this random variable, for the values of x we can subsequently write the values of fi. This thing is called the PMF and we can prove it by seeing that it also satisfies the condition of the PMF. That is, we have seen the both condition that p of I should be greater than or equal to 0 and the second condition is summation pi should be 1. So here the 3 pi we are getting is 1 by 4, 1 by 2 and 1 by 4. All are greater than or equal to 0, so it satisfies the first condition, and the second condition is the summation should be 1. So if we add 1 by 2, 1 by 2 and 1 by 4, we will see that it sums up to be 1. So both conditions are satisfied, so this is a PMF. Now another term that comes is the distribution function, and it is also known as cumulative distribution function. If we take a random variable x, the distribution function can be given by fx equal to p of capital X, where capital X lies between minus infinity to small x, and small x ranges from minus infinity to plus infinity. So if we take the x from xi to xi plus 1, the x lies between, then fx is the sum of p of x equal to x0 plus p of x equal to x1 till it p of x equal to xi. So in the example we are considering again the tossing of two coins. If we take, we have seen the number of heads can be 0, 1 and 2. So the values of capital X here are 0, 1 and 2. Similarly, the value of f of x for the subsequent cases are 1 by 4, 1 by 2 and 1 by 4. Therefore, the distribution function or the cumulative distribution function in this case will be fx equal to 0 for x less than 0, as there cannot be 0 heads or less than 0 head in the tossing of two coins. For x lying between 0 to 1, the probability will be 1 by 4, so will be the f of x here. For x lying between 1 to 2, if we see the x here equal to 1 and x is less than 2, so the fx will be 1 by 4 plus 1 by 2. That is, we will get the fx will come out to be 1 by 2 plus 1 by 4 for the condition x less than equal to 1. Means here x equal to 0 and x equal to 1 both are considered. So here fx we get 1 by 2 plus 1 by 4 equal to 3 by 4. Now if we take the x range as x less than equal to 2, we will get x equal to 0, x equal to 1 and x equal to 2. That is the total range. Here we will get the fx as 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 2. So it will be come out to be 1. So here the cumulative distribution function of fx will be fx equal to 1 by 4 for x less than equal to 0. It will be equal to 3 by 4 for x less than equal to 1, and it will be 1 for x less than equal to 2. There are certain properties of this distribution function, such as the distribution function fx is a monotonic non-decreasing function. Another property is that f of minus infinity equal to 0 and f of plus infinity equal to 1, and so we can say that fx lies between 0 and 1. Also, if we consider a and b are any real number such that a less than b, then we can write p of x, where x lies between a and b, equal to p of f of b minus f of a. For any discrete random variable, if we draw the graph of the function, we will get it as a step function. As we know, the discrete random variable, the random variable will take only discrete values and will not get any continuous values. For the tossing of the coins or the weight of the student in a class, all we will be getting will be discrete values. That is, that will be specific values, not infinitely ranging continuous. Now we will see about continuous random variable. A random variable which can take infinite number of values in an interval is known as continuous random variable. So as in case of discrete, we have seen that it will take only specific values, but here it can take any continuous values. For example, if we take that weight example, as for the students of in class, we have seen that the random variable of their weight will get a discrete value. Only specific points will be found. But if we take very large number of people into survey, suppose 10,000 people or 1 lakh people, we can see that the weight will means the weight of every people will occupy all the points. So it will be continuous curve. If we take the weight and versus the number of person curve, so it will be a continuous value. This can be an example of continuous random variable. The distribution function associated with continuous random variable is known as probability density function or density function. It is also denoted by PDF. It can be defined as, let x be a continuous random variable with distribution function fx equal to p of x, then a function fx is said to be probability density function PDF of x if fx is integrable on the interval a to x for all a, and if fx equal to integration minus infinity to x f of t dt. This holds for every real x. There are also certain properties of this PDF. The first property is f of x should be greater than or equal to 0. We have also seen this in case of PMF. And the second property is integration minus infinity to infinity fx dx should be 1. So in PMF it was summation fx dx equal to 1, and here it is integration, as we are considering the continuous values in this PDF. Now, after we have seen the continuous random variable and the discrete random variable, now we'll take a look on the mean of the random variable. It is also known as the expectation. First, we'll see the expectation of a discrete random variable. If we see that here the let x be a discrete random variable whose distribution is given by for each value of x we get a specific value of fi, then the mean or expectation of the expected value of x is denoted by ex or mx or simply m. It is defined as ex equal to x0 f0 plus xi f1 plus x2 f2 dot dot, means it will be equal to summation of xi fi. This is the definition of the mean for a discrete random variable. It is also the condition provided that the series is absolutely convergent if the above sum is an infinite series. Now we will see the expectation for continuous random variable. For a continuous random variable x with probability density function fx, the mean or expectation of x is defined as ex equal to integration minus infinity to infinity x fx dx, provided the integral converges absolutely. So as we seen in discrete random variable, it was summation xi fi, here it is integration x fx dx. If we see an example of rolling of a die, for the rolling of a die it has 6 faces and the probability of falling each number will come on the top each 1. So if we take, suppose the die is rolled and the number will be the point on the die, then the values can be 1 to 6, the probability of each will be 1 by 6. In the distribution table it can be shown as the values of x and subsequent values of fi, that x ranges from 1 to 3 to up to 6, and the fi for all the values will be 1 by 6, as the probability for each is 1 by 6. Therefore, its expectation can be given by the discrete random variable expectation formula, that is summation fi xi. Therefore, it will be as 1 into 1 by 6 plus 2 into 1 by 6 plus 3 into 1 by 6, like that up to 6 into 1 by 6, and it will become to 7 by 2. There are also certain properties of the expectation or the mean. The first property is that E of A equal to A, where A is the constant. The second property, E of AX equal to A into EX. Here A is the constant and E of A, E here stands for the expectation. The third property is that expectation of X plus minus Y equal to expectation of X plus minus expectation of Y. The last property is that expectation of xy equal to expectation of x into expectation of y, if the two random variables x and y are independent. After we have seen the mean or the expectation, we will here look at the variance and the standard deviation. The variance of a random variable x, it is denoted by variance of x, also v of x, and it is equal to e of x minus m whole square, where m equal to expectation, that is ex. The positive square root of the variance of x is known as the standard deviation, and it is denoted by sigma of x, or simply sigma. So the variance can also be written as e of x minus x bar whole square, which is equal to e of x square minus e of x total square, where e of x itself equal to x bar, or the mean or the expectation. There are also certain physical significance of this expectation and variance. In fact, the mean has a very important significance. It represents the center of mass of the probability distribution. And for the variance, if we see, the variance describes how widely the probability masses are spread about the mean. That is, it gives an inverse measure of the concentration of the probability masses about the mean, which is called the measure of dispersion. There are also certain special types of distribution. A random variable is said to have a special type of distribution if its PMF or the PDF gets a special form. There are many such types of distribution, but the binomial distribution and the Poisson distribution are very well known and useful in our everyday life. The normal distribution also has a wide range of application and is quite significant. At first, we will see the binomial distribution. There are certain conditions when the binomial distribution are used. The conditions are all the trials are independent of one another. The second condition is the number of trial n should be finite, it cannot be infinite. And the third condition is that the probability of success is same in each trial. The binomial distribution Px is given by NCx p to the power x q to the power n minus x. Here q equal to 1 minus p, that is p plus q total sums to 1. If we see that the Px is a PMF, by the basic condition of PMF, we have seen that the summation Px from x equal to 0 to n should be 1. So here if we put the value of Px as NCx p of x into q n minus x, we will see that the result comes out to be 1. Therefore Px is a PMF. Mean and variance of binomial distribution. We have seen the mean and variance for the normal distribution for continuous and discrete separately. Now for the binomial distribution, the mean is given by n into p and the variance is given by n into p into q. That is, the standard deviation will be given by root over npq. This can be proved separately. If we see it through an example, suppose an unbiased die is tossed 4 times. Let multiple of 3 be success, otherwise it is a failure. Here p, the probability of success in a single head, is 2 by 6, that is 1 by 3. If we take x equal to number of multiple of 3 appeared among these 4 trials, then as we have discussed, x can be binomial distribution taking the parameter n equal to 4 and p equal to 1 by 3. Here the total time is 4, that's why n comes out to be 4, and the probability of success, as we have seen, it is 1 by 3. Therefore the number of multiple of 3 equal to the mean of x can be given by mean equal to np, that formula. Therefore the mean comes out to be 4 into 1 by 3 equal to 4 by 3. Similarly, the standard deviation of x will be root over npq, that is q will be 1 by p, and n and p value already you have got 4 and 1 by 3, then the standard deviation will come out to be root over 4 into 1 by 3 into 1 minus 1 by 3, that is, it will come 2 root 2 divided by 3. Another kind of distribution is the Poisson distribution. It can be defined as a discrete random variable x is said to have Poisson distribution with parameter mu greater than 0 if its distribution is given by x and subsequent values of f. If we write for x 0, 1, 2, the fi value will be f0, f1, f2, f3 dot dot. Then the PMF fi equal to p of x equal to I equal to e to the power minus mu into mu to the power I by I factorial. Here the parameter is mu, or it is also denoted by lambda. So we can say that the discrete random variable x, which has the following probability mass function px equal to mu to the power x e to the power minus mu by x factorial, where x ranges from 0 to infinity, is called the Poisson variate, and this distribution is known as the Poisson distribution. This distribution is specially used when the range of x is from 0 to infinity, means it is not of any finite value, and also the n value and the p value will have a huge difference, means the n will have a very large value whereas the probability p will be very less. Suppose as it is given that n equal to 1 lakh and p is 0.001. In that case, using binomial it will be very difficult to calculate. So here Poisson distribution will be used. Here also the p of x satisfies the two fundamental properties of PMF. Therefore the f of I equal to p of x can also be set as the PMF of the random variable. If we see an example as it is given, let a huge metal sheet be produced by a machine in a factory. Defects are noticed in the sheet. The machine is such that the average number of defects per unit area is 3. A piece of 10 unit area of the sheet is purchased by the company. Let x equal to number of defects in this piece. Then x may assume values 0, 1, 2 up to infinity. As we have told in Poisson, it will take infinite number of values. Here change means defect and the interval 0t stands for 10 unit area of the sheet. Then x has the Poisson distribution given by this x and fi table. For x 0, 1, 2, 3 we have the subsequent fi equal to f0, f1, f2 dot dot, where fi equal to e to the power minus mu to the power I by I factorial. with the parameter mu here equal to 3 into 10, that is 30, equal to average number of defects per 10 unit area of the sheet. So if we take the f0, we can calculate as p of x equal to 0 equal to e to the power minus 30 into 30 to the power 0 by 0 factorial. In place of I, here we are putting 0. Here we are taking mu as 30 because in the Poisson distribution the parameter mu or lambda is given by the product of n into p. Like binomial distribution, in Poisson distribution also we have the mean and variance separate formula which can be calculated as shown here. The mean value comes out to be the parameter, that is mu or lambda, and the variance value also comes out to be mu or lambda. Therefore the standard deviation, which is the square root of the variance, comes out to be root over lambda. If we see another example on the Poisson distribution, here it is given that 2% of the fuses manufactured by a firm are defective. Find the probability that a box containing 200 fuses has at least one defective fuse. Second question, 3 or more defective fuses, and the third question is no defective fuse. So here n is given out to be 200 as 200 fuses, it is already told, and the probability p is 2%, that is 0.02. So as we have seen, the condition of Poisson is that there should be a great difference between the n and the p. So here n is quite large compared to p. Therefore the parameter lambda or mu comes out to be the product of np equal to 200 into 0.02 equal to 4. Therefore p of x comes out to be lambda to the power x e to the power minus lambda by x factorial. Putting the value of lambda equal to 4, we will get 4 to the power x e to the power minus 4 by x factorial. Therefore the first question, as it has been asked, at least one defective fuse, here means that it should be greater than or equal to 1 condition. Therefore p of x greater than equal to 1 can be written as 1 minus p x less than 1. As greater than 1 will get many conditions, so better to take the x less than 1 condition and subtract it from the total set, that is 1 minus x less than 1, and we can calculate it as 1 minus e to the power minus 4. In the second question it is told that the probability of 3 or more defective fuses, so here it will be p x greater than equal to 3, so it will come out to be 1 minus p x less than equal to 3, which can be calculated. And the last question is also told that no defective fuse, therefore here p x equal to 0. Another type of distribution is the exponential distribution. It is defined as a continuous random variable x which has the following PDF: fx equal to lambda e to the power minus lambda x, where lambda greater than 0 and x ranges from 0 to infinity, is called exponential variable, and the distribution is called exponential distribution. So it is also another kind of distribution which is used, though not as common as the Poisson or the binomial distribution. Here also we can calculate the mean and variance value. The mean value comes out to be 1 by lambda, here lambda is the only parameter, and the variance comes out to be 1 by lambda square. This was the one parameter exponential distribution. Also we have the two parameter exponential distribution, which is not so much common, but we can see that the random variable x is said to have a two parameter exponential distribution if its probability density function is given by fx equal to 1 by b e to the power minus x to x minus a by b, where x ranges greater than equal to a, and in the other range here fx comes out to be 0. Here a and b are the two parameters of the distribution. This is the two parameter exponential distribution.